Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you hear me? Turn me up in the headphones. Look, black women in church trying to sing away their problems, paying tithes to a pastor, molest your children and rob you. He ain't concerned with their condition and black people problems. Send some prayers up to the Lord, shake loose all their pockets. And to add to the stress, shit, we all divided. He got caught up in the trap, he could've went to college. Selling box ain't your only option. How you single with 4 kids with a rainbow flag in your bio? He got caught up, came home with a drug problem. You get famous off of murder. Niggas love sliding, city filled with gun violence. Everybody got switches. Religious grandchildren is doing most of the killing. I don't consider this living. We in hell. Gave my nigga life, I heard him crying in his cell. Uncle sneaking in her room, but she afraid to tell. How you expect to get justice? She blind holding scales. Yeah, all the wrong shit make you real. You ain't focused on oppression when you just trying to live. I've been in the fields just like Pop Warner. See my brother catch a body, we was sophomores. Devil buying a strong man and put the locks on him. Now the family all destroyed, son got stock on him. I ain't mad, just a warrior for the wrong cause. How your ops look like you in the wrong war. For real, yeah. Yeah. BK shit, man, One West. Hey. I'm a UBK nigga, I'm stuck in my ways. That's on them, letting cowards fill up they ranks. Goddamn, lost tribes got them following waves. Loyalty a lifestyle, nigga, I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm a saint, no New Orleans, it's going up. Next spot, we at the B&B. I'm turned up, I pull up in the SRT. Burn a rubber, hey, UBK shit. Look, met her at the club, told her pull up to the lobby. She know I'm in the coat, we're all black, no Illuminati. This my other half shit, I can't move without it. These my motherfucking brothers, yeah, what I'm gonna do without them, yeah. If it's beef, I can't wait to sink my teeth in. Niggas going overboard, they off the deep end. Why you tripping off that hoe? That's some weak shit. Told him put me in the game cause I love defense. Yeah, put me in the game, coach. Fuck you thought, he let his colors fly. He ain't cut, we cut him off. Yeah, bounce on, let my fringes swing. Yeah, I'm a dog, and she say she find me interesting. Yeah, want me to call, put me in the game, coach. Fuck you thought, he let his colors fly. He ain't cut, we cut him off. Hey, bounce on, let my fringes swing. Yeah, I'm a dog, and she say she find me interesting. Yeah, want me to call, I ain't gotta settle, I got options, ma. No, I stand on business, my name not Jazar. I'll pop you with this pocket rock. Feed a nigga shells like a taco truck. Hey, this bitch got sound effects. It go pew pew pew. I ain't tripping on no drink, got bottles in a room. I'm in Durham, North Carolina, bitch, it's 12 a.m. Look at them, they ain't none of us and we ain't them. I told him, put me in the game, coach. Fuck you thought, he let his colors fly. He ain't cut, we cut him off. Hey, bounce out, let my fringes swing. Yeah, I'm a dog. Hey, she say she find me interesting. Yeah, want me to call. Put me in the game, coach. Fuck you thought, he let his colors fly. He ain't cut, we cut him off. Hey, bounce out, let my fringes swing. Yeah, I'm a dog. Hey, she say she find me interesting. Want me to call, yeah. UBK shit, man, you already know what it is. It's the 55th annual Passover, man, turn up. We gonna do this shit the UBK way, not the other way. You hear me? Yeah.
Hey, shalom. Clap it up. All right. Yeah, man. So tonight is another Friday night, the Breakdown podcast. You understand, where we break down the strongholds that hold back the children of Israel here in Jamaica, the Caribbean, North, Central, and South America. All right, so tonight we have officer of 1,000 Abadawan with us. You know what I mean? Captain Nayatak. You know what I mean? Couldn't make it this night, but you know what I mean? We have officer of 1,000 Abadawan. Shalom, sir. Yabashim Shari because Wagwan.
Salam, Yabashim Yashai Brakatah.
Yeah, man, we have some interesting stories. Salakia, go ahead, sir.
So what's going on, Hebrew?
Tuab, sir. Everything Tuab, sir. You know what I mean? Don't know, another day in captivity, so you know what I mean? Not exactly Tuab, but just, you know what I mean, I have to go and survive until Christ crap them sky there, you see me? Yeah, man. So tonight we have an interesting show. We have the Palestine march that took place in half a tree, free Palestine march. You know what I mean? Who would have think that something like that would have reached Jamaica? See, we have to break that down as well. And we have also some African giving, you know what I mean, his recollection of what some Chinese said about black people. You know what I mean? Calling us the stupidest people on the face of the earth. You understand? And the African said that he agreed. So we have to break that down as well. You understand? So which one do you think we should touch upon first, sir?
Well, we could dance a yard first. I mean, you know, deal with the one at home, the Palestinian one at home.
All right.
Sorry. What was said.
Meaning the African, what the African was saying, the Chinese said.
Yeah.
Kind one can.
That one.
In the meanwhile, remember to like, share, subscribe, you know what I mean? Remember to leave on the questions in the comments as well.
The Chinese said to him that there's no other race in the world more.
Salakia, sir. Yeah, hear the audio?
Can, I hear it.
All right.
Stupider than black people, and that's why black people is to the bottom of every economic ladder in the world, and they will never rise up. He told him, he said, you know, this is a black country, and in this black country, a Chinese or any other ethnicity, any other race of people, whether it's Indian, Chinese, Arabs, and he went on, saying that they can come into a black country and they can set up a business next to a black person in a black country, and with the help of the black people, they will put the black man out of business in a matter of weeks. When he highlighted the fact that black people are stupid, I was in awe. But when he explained it to me, I must agree. For another ethnicity to come to our land and tell us we are the stupidest set of people that has ever walked the face of the earth, we would argue, get angry, but it's a fact. Because you can set up a store no matter what your prices are. Once the Chinese are selling next to you, the Chinese will shop with the Chinese. If you set up a business, the same will apply to the Indian. Indians will first shop with Indians. Europeans will shop with Europeans. Black people are the only race of people who will spend their money with another race of people who don't like them or who don't care about them. So I must agree with the young Chinese man. We are so far in that situation the stupidest set of people that has ever walked the face of the earth.
Salakia. Go ahead, sir.
Well, many things are about this is that well, we're taking it from the point of view that the Chinese did say that, right? Because we know them brazen like that.
Mm-hmm.
But what I would tell them is that what they don't know is that We are really a destroyed set of people.
Right.
And what I realize about these other nations around us, rather than them trying to help to rebuild us as a people, they are more in the business of tearing us down.
Can one can.
But there was an article that I pulled from time to time. I think it's from the Jamaica archives, where that gives the history of Jamaica, of the Chinese coming into Jamaica, right? And that history tells us about when the Chinese coming into Jamaica, approximately 100 years ago, or more than 100 years ago. We coming out of slavery, I don't think we have gone 50 years good out of slavery, right? I'm sure we weren't gone 100 years out of slavery yet. So there was so many healing to be done when they came into Jamaica, mentally and not to mention financially, right? They came into Jamaica as an organized set of people, and other nations came into Jamaica. The Indians, other nations came to Jamaica. They all come to Jamaica as an organized set of people.
Right.
But the ones we are dealing with now is the one who would be brazen enough to say that we are the stupidest set of people, right? Now, many of them don't even know their own history in Jamaica.
Can.
When they came to Jamaica, right? The retail business was not a popular thing back then, right? That time Jamaica it was in its formative years. What they did in setting up retail business, they got privileges from the oppressor, from public enemy number one. The oppressor man gave them the privilege of setting them up in retail. Our distributors at the time, I don't know if they were in manufacturing, but they were mainly distributors of dry goods. And these companies would give goods to the Chinese on consignment. Is the right word, consignment?
Can one can, sir. Yeah, man.
All right. Go on. Consignment, concession. Consignment is where you get the goods and what no seller give it back what no sell. Concession.
Okay. Can one can.
So they would get the goods and pay later on credit. 3 month, 30-day credit. Oh, they tell me that use about 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Depends on the size of the business. Now, if you get goods on credit like that, and concession like that, where basically the sky was the limit. So you would take goods that you think you can sell within 30 days, and you don't pay for it. You take it, sell it, and then you pay.
Right.
But what they used to do was to credit the ex-slaves. So they would credit the ex-slaves until payday. That's how they start out, by giving credit, because you didn't have the money coming out of slavery. You didn't have the money to go and buy, because what they would give you could barely carry you through your pay week to the next pay week. So what they would do is give these workers, let's call them workers. If you weren't working, then I suppose they wouldn't give you anything there. And then these workers would pay their bill on the deal that they would get paid. They set up their business, set up themselves. And at the same time, they are the Chinese benevolent society to help them. In other words, they were able to formally organize themselves. From the benevolent society, they handle their dispute. Their disputes were not tried in our courts. Right? Through the Chinese benevolent society, they were able to deal with any dispute among them. They would deal with it.
Okay.
So they were very much organized.
So lucky, sir. If I may, so basically they were almost self-governed here in Jamaica.
Basically.
Okay.
Exactly. Then after that now, you have the advent of the communists, the communist regime in China. Many of them ran from China. Many of them found themselves in Jamaica and the Caribbean. Then China began to grow. And you still have the communist government in China, but this communist government is not seeking any revenge on any of them who run to the Caribbean or wherever. So what they do now is even extend a hand to those who are already in the Caribbean and do business with them. Plus, they send other Chinese out in the world with loans. Plus, the Chinese government go into countries and do business. Now, the black countries, the black majority countries, you see, the countries that they're really referring to, is the Israelite countries. Those of us in the Caribbean and those of us here in the West. And wherever in the world, whichever country you find the Israelites, who is really a destroyed set of people who don't even know that they are Israelites. If it wasn't for the ICPK under commanding general since 1969, we would still be calling ourselves what? Africans.
Right.
And we're not Africans. Right? Many of these Africans have their own business in Africa. The Chinese not set up shop in Africa the way they do it in the Caribbean and in the US. Right? As a matter of fact, in the US, when the Chinese go amongst other nations, and this is why they would say something like this, because when they go amongst other nations, the other nations don't even want them in their space. Who was it that taught us out of many one people?
The oppressor.
Right. That was those who enslave us. So from you were in school, one of the first things you will learn in school was out of many one people. So if you've been learning that as a child, you're going to spend your money. You're not looking at color. You're looking at value for money. Right? So this is how destroyed we were. It's not stupid. Right? It's like you're in America and you have some things selling at a dollar store. But you want to go to a store which have some more class and you're going to buy the same thing for $3. What are you going to do? You're going to go to the dollar store if you are that poor. All right. So many of us in these countries are poor. So the Chinese man come in your country, when I'm set up beside a black man and set up beside a white man, he generally undersells the other nations. In other words, the same goods will be cheaper in his shop. That is his strategy. And this is why Europe is now, the EU is now putting embargo on his electric cars because he has that same undermining selling strategy and he's taking it to the Europeans. But the Europeans have the power to give him, to put embargo on him.
Right.
We don't. As a matter of fact, our government is so impoverished that they have to go run to them to seek loans. And because you're begging them their money, you can't put no embargo on them. But because the Europeans are begging them no money, they can't put embargo on them.
Right.
So it's a matter of power.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, Mr. Chin, you came here when we didn't have any power. You set up shop. You were accepted because you were behaving yourself. But now you're getting rude. Right? So the little by little, the tide is going to turn. Europe is the first one going to turn the tide. Right? Embargoes. They're putting up embargoes on these Chinese. Starting with the electric cars. And trust me, that is not a start. There is a Taiwan war coming up. Now, anytime they touch Taiwan, the same thing they do to Russia, they're going to do it to the Chinese.
Gun.
Pretty soon, you ain't going to see. The only Chinese business you're going to see in Jamaica is those who were born in Jamaica. And probably even them going to be running scared. So, I'm wondering if the person who said that is really a Chinese or is a Taiwanese. Can you tell the difference between the two of them? If you see the Chinese, can you tell the difference between the Chinese and the Taiwanese?
La, sir.
Neither can I. So I'm wondering if that statement was really said by a Chinese or a Taiwanese. But in any case, sometimes propaganda do work. So if it's a propaganda, they are spreading the propaganda. The Taiwanese are spreading on the Chinese in the West. It's gonna work. It's gonna work because I can tell you one thing: we people, we blacks don't like is for you to come blatantly call us stupid.
Right.
I mean, you've been in a country, you've been here in Jamaica over 100 years. In the West, over 100 years doing business, prospering. Right? You have been prospering. You have any scripture ready, Anna? If not, you find the one. Give me Moab.
What we did have here, sir, because I didn't mention how the Chinese came to Jamaica. I did pull it up from the archive where you didn't mention. I don't know if you want me to read that.
All right, drop a scripture before we touch that. Moab has been at ease from his youth.
Can.
Right? Because in these scriptures, and this is why we cannot throw away this Bible, because every single nation that you have on the face of the earth is in the Bible. It's just for you to know the name that they are in the Bible as. The Chinese is the Moabite in the Bible. As a matter of fact, they used to oppress us directly, just like the white man, way back in the days. And guess what? The Most I have not forgotten. Right? So, Jeremiah 48 and 11. Give me that one.
Can, sir. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 48 and verse 11. Moab has been at ease from his youth, and he has set slack.
The Chinese has been at ease from his youth, meaning from, take for instance, the time they came into Jamaica, the 100 years that they came to Jamaica. Yeah, all right. When they came to Jamaica, we were going through. The matter of fact, they just trick us. They just trick us with their apprenticeship program coming out of slavery. Give us another setback, couple more years. then there was, by that time, you still couldn't, you weren't owned it, you didn't own any land, one, which means you didn't have any asset to go to any bank to get any loan to do any business. They came in, they didn't have any asset, but the white man looked out for them. How did he look out for them? He gave them, he set them up in retail business. Retail, well, some of them grow into wholesale, but mainly retail. Right? Set them up in the retail. They allow them to dominate retail of foods, mainly foods, which was why every Chinaman did have a shop. It's not that they want to have a shop, but that was where the door was open. So they could, all they need to do is to either rent the location or whichever way. Once they get the location, the goods would come in. Because the locations that they get for business was really inside the plantations, meaning in the same area that the plantations were. Right? The Great Plains was the largest plantation. So you had many Chinese in the Great Plains doing business. And how did they do business? Like I said before, they got concession goods. And this lasted for years. So Moab has been at ease from his youth. Read on.
Can. And he has settled on his lease.
All right. What do you mean by the lease? What lease mean? You can find that word. That comes from wine making wine. Right? You get the grape. You get the grape. You get the drain the grape. You get the juice. But then it had some sediments in it. Some thick sediment, some thick. You know, like when you make fruit juice and you have that thick thing that would still go through the strainer. When I'm making wine now, when that thick sludge come through, even though if you drink it, you don't feel it in the mouth. You still have to let it settle. What you have there?
Lees, the sediment of wine in the barrel. Dregs.
Dregs. Now that is one word where almost all of in Jamaica do. When they tell about it, go away from here, so you're dregs. you know that?
I'm not familiar with it that way, but
you're not familiar with that way there. Yeah, man. A man was a crack. Even though a man called man dregs.
Okay.
So that is now the part of the drinks that you would want to throw away. Because a lot of impurities, any impurities inside in it, have a tendency to settle down that section. So in other words, the Chinese has been allowed, so, you know, undisturbed. Now, if when you're making that wine and it's settling, you go there and you disturb it, what happens?
All of the dregs start, you know what I mean?
Mix up back in the wine.
Oh, the wine, can.
And then you won't, and if you continue to mix it up, when you sell it, you won't be selling pure wine.
Right.
You won't be selling the kind of wine that Christ turned water into. And this was why Christ's water was the wine that Christ made from the water was so pure. Because it didn't have no fruit in it. That was just water. And there was no leaf to settle. Right? So the Chinese has been allowed to settle as a nation, undisturbed. That's what it is said there. Go back to the scripture.
And has not been emptied from vessel to vessel.
Right. So if you're making the wine and you keep on emptying it from vessel to vessel, the dregs are going to keep on mixed up inside of it. Now, because the Chinese have been not being emptied from vessel to vessel, it means you come, you set up your business, and next nation now never come overthrow them and take them over. There was a time when the Japanese did rule, and I don't even think it was all of China, right? The Chinese have never gone through any oppression that takes away their identity. As a matter of fact, today we here, we know through the ISUPK that we are Israelites, but outside of the ISUPK, we also say we are what? African, we are Jamaicans, we are Ethiopians.
God.
But the person of Chinese descent who is born in Jamaica, he's not called a Jamaican. What is he called?
Called a Chinese.
He's called a Chinese.
Can one can.
It's a Chinese man. But you go and you check his birth certificate and you check his passport. It is same as yours.
Right.
And that is because they have not lost their identity. When they are in America, you have Chinatown. You have persons of Chinese descent born in America who don't know the mainland China. But yet they are called Chinese.
Same thing with Jamaica.
Yeah. They are called Chinese because they have not lost their identity. They have not been destroyed. Read on. So they have not been emptied from vessel to vessel, meaning that they have not been conquered, taken over, and spoiled. You know, you're spoil when a nation come and spoil you. Take away what you have. And leave you again now if you start back from zero. Like what they are doing to the Palestinians. When that war in Palestine finished, what do you think will happen to the Palestinians? They will have to start again from zero. So they are being emptied from vessel to vessel. As a matter of fact, the same vessel that emptied them before is emptying them again. Continue.
Neither has he gone into captivity.
All right, that's what I was explaining. He's not been gone into captivity. Go on.
Therefore, his taste remain in him.
His taste remain in him. His culture, his knowledge of who he is remains in him. So he is not, he won't be called the stupidest person. He knows that he should support his people. But the nation that is destroyed, they don't know that.
Right.
The nation that you talk about who is being destroyed, they don't know that they should support their people and leave you to starve. Because that's what should have happened. Right? When we're spending our money, we should be thinking of out of no many one people. But pretty soon our people getting it. They're getting it. All right. Anything else on that one?
Just one more sentence. And his scent is not changed.
Not even his scent is changed. So he has all his culture intact. As a matter of fact, the Chinese man born in Jamaica know when the Chinese New Year started. Right? He knows. Ask him about the Chinese zodiac. You can't tell him. Even when him don't know the Chinese language, he knows. As a matter of fact, many of them can carry you back to China. I mean, they can't carry you, but they can't tell you which province in China their roots come from. Many of them roots come from poverty in China, so some of them might be, a little ashamed of their roots, but they know it. The fact is, they know their roots. They know where they are from. You used to have some Chinese in Nathan who used to have relatives in China who would come and visit them in the summer. Right? When you go in the store, you see the boy for young Chinese girls, the man thing. And I remember one time I went in one of them a couple years back, and I saw one of them crying. So I turned to the next one and said, "What's wrong with her? Why is she crying?" And she said, "Because she's leaving." I saw them like about the Friday. So they said she's leaving over the weekend to go back to China.
Never want to go back to China.
Never want to go back to China.
Love Jamaica.
Love Jamaica.
Them get to rule over us, like yeah.
Yeah, you can't rule over some media people. Now that they call me. But the Chinese, who has been here for the 100 years, is a little bit smarter than that to go throw it in the face, Not throw it in the face, Because he knows that he is who he is today because of you.
Right.
So he will not talk and say, say black people is the most stupidest people in the face of the earth. He's not going to say that.
So like, yes, sir.
In front of you, I'm not going to say that.
So like, yes, sir. If I may, you know what I mean? They not say blatant like, oh, you know what I mean, that Chinese person hide and told that African, but them come out like Ghetto Kirk and say, you know what I mean, we are moved like a set of duns and like what's your name? Curry Dog Soo Young. We come out and say we are moved like a set of RC dunces, you know what I mean? So yeah, them have them little style to it where them do, but them not do it so blatant, like what you say.
The two of them sound like first generation Chinese Jamaican.
Gun.
Meaning their family their parents came directly from China.
Right.
But you have the Chinese who have been out here for at least 5 generations.
So like, yes, sir, that particular one, what's your name? Curry Dog Soo Young, she said, her father is the original Mr. Chin. So, one of the one them will come here from them, you know what I mean, 4 or 5 generation there. That's why she feels she had that, you know what I mean, that arrogant, like she's what you call it no. She feel like she entitled.
She's vested.
Yeah.
She's vested.
God.
Yeah. But all right, we're going to touch the article that you have, and then we'll go back on some scripture.
Can. All right, so this is the archive article that Officer Abadawan referred to. Yeah, one of them. This is from the Jamaica archives. See, and this I said, the Chinese, they were first brought to the island as indentured servants between 1854 and the 1880s. But in comparison to the East Indians, their numbers were negligible in 1854 after some.
All right, hold on. Curry Dog Soo Young generation didn't begin then, Their generation never come from that far. Their generation come in after that. You see one never coming from that the time. You see, any one of them out here now, you're no Chinese accent in them talking. Them talk the straight patois. You know, no Chinese, no little accent in their language when they talk. It sound like me and it. They just don't look like me and it. All right, read on.
In 1854, after some negotiations, 472 of them were sent to Jamaica in exchange for Jamaican labor. But they were in such poor physical shape that most of them died shortly after they arrived.
You see?
After their arrival. So
they were so what? Malnourished.
Yeah.
Underfed. And yet still they came amongst us. And it wasn't we that killed them.
Right.
Right? They died because they were not. But those who were strong enough, they survived.
Right. You know what I mean? So
All
like
right.
you said, to add to what you're saying, sir. So they were not living good in China.
Exactly.
That is what Officer Abada wanna say. You know what I mean? They came to Jamaica and Jamaica fed them and they got rich half a way. You know what I mean? That is how they got rich. You know what I mean? So like
Jamaica, many of them were in Trinidad and I think Barbados. They were in the British Empire in the West. Right. All right. Some more, read some more.
Another 328 were brought from Hong Kong by the government. But again, the losses were high.
In other words, they were dying out.
Right.
And they were cutting cane. They didn't come out here as cane cutters. The indentured laborers were the one who would like sprinkle the manure in the field, you know, do some lighter work. It's still hard work, you know, but lighter than cutting the cane, standing the cane and swinging that cane bill. Continue.
So like, that's all of it, sir. All of this article.
That's all the part of. Well, there's a part of it that goes on and tell you about when after they got paid off because they could manage the indentured labor work and they paid them off. And that money that they got as paid off was what they used to set up the shop. Right. So there's a longer article than that. But hopefully you can find it for Sunday. But
send me the link, sir, so we can have it prepared.
You know, so that link there upon the laptop.
Oh.
But search. Do some searching. I think it's in Jamaica archive. I hope it's not take it down though.
I don't know, but I have to probably search and see still. If you can remember some quote, it'll make the search a little bit easier, you know?
All right. Now, if you can also find the article where the Chinese government telling the Chinese Jamaican government about something about protect the Chinese out here from terrorism. Because there was, who is now the head of the national security in Jamaica? A person of Chinese descent. So they were saying something to that effect. Now, even when they mash up China through war, you will not go have another nation holding any power of government in China. It's not going to happen.
Right.
But we, It's not even we, it's the oppressor. Taught us about out of many one people.
Can.
And out of that teaching, out of many one people, we have allowed other nations to come amongst us and has eaten us raw. Eating us for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and pass us to their grand and great grandchildren.
Can.
So that their great grandchildren can come now and don't know the roots. As a matter of fact, I wonder if them know those, well, the one who made the statement is a Jamaican.
The person with attack?
No, not
Chinese person?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
We're not sure.
I not get to see the entire video, but you know what I mean.
But let's assume that it was a Jamaican said it. Jamaican Chinese who said it. Whether first generation or fifth generation or whatever generation. You know that they survived because of our food though.
Right.
It's not Chinese food why they survive, you know?
Blah.
Because those Chinese who have been out here so long have been now cultured into Jamaican food. Yeah. And when I say cultured in Jamaican food, they still do them like the stir-fried veg and so, but they do it with a Jamaican flavor. Use our seasoning, eat the meat that we eat, and so on. Because the very seasonings that we use, natural seasoning in the food, we call bitter herbs, add to our immune system, it build our immune system. They have benefited from that, which is why they have survived until now and be so strong.
And Slakia, sir, if I may, not only just buy them consuming it, but when them open them restaurants, then sell Jamaican food. You understand?
Yeah.
Food. So it also make them rich. You know what I mean?
The Chinese restaurant, the Chinese who had restaurant was not really, this few of them was really, they called Chinese restaurant. Many of them was Chinese selling Jamaican food inside their restaurant. Right? So, I mean, they have also learned cleanliness from us.
Right.
Yeah, because many of our women, you work with them. Clean up them place, keep them place clean so that disease don't take them over. Right? You don't have any article holding.
Sir, I don't have no more article on the Chinese thing.
We're going on to the scriptures and then we switch the topic. As a matter of fact, I wonder if I should tell them their end now, or should I wait until Sunday? Can't touch that. Go back to Jeremiah.
You can save some for Sunday because, as I said, time constraint. You know what I mean?
Hey, you want more verse from the more what do you call it again? The what of more
Jeremiah.
Yeah.
All right. So you want which verse? Salakia.
Which one you just read?
We read Jeremiah 48 and verse 11.
Okay, what 12 say?
Can. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 48 and verse 12, and it says, "Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will send unto him wanderers that shall cause him to wander and shall empty his vessel." break their battle.
So if they were not emptied from vessel to vessel, and now the Most High will send people to come empty in vessel, it means what? They're going into some captivity.
Right. They're going to get spoiled.
Yeah, man, and then you're going to learn what it is to be destroyed.
Right.
And the one who said that, you're going to stay alive to witness it, so that you yourself can go into it.
Right.
Yeah. But, you know, one and all the same. They think, whether they say it or not, you know, this is how they view you. This is really how they view you. So, I mean, the one who said just really echoing something that the others are thinking. Anyway, enough of Moab. We can go down to our land, because Moab is not the only one that has hurt us. And Palestinians have hurt you too. And Amalek down there, they are hurting us too.
Right. All right. So, you know what I mean? Excellent segue into the next topic. You know what I mean? In the meanwhile, everybody just like, share, subscribe. If you have a question, just leave it in the chat. See, so there was a protest that took place, you know what I mean, in Jamaica, a pro-Palestine or free Palestine protest that take place. You know what I mean? And this video is very interesting because, you know what I mean, a certain brother reacted in a way that we can say, you know what I mean, was in the right spirit, you know? Yeah, man, without further ado, we're going to play this tape.
From the river to the sea. After. We don't know no blood clot. We don't know no. You're Christian. It is
Before.
Yo,
I see some brown skin people in it.
Yeah, man. Some of them are I don't know. But yeah, it seemed like it. I'd have to assume.
All right. Remember there was one, I think it was the earlier part of the war, when I was saying that there are some Palestinians out here.
Yeah, man.
In business and thing. Well, them start show put something out. But they're here. They have been here before the war break up. You hear a man say, "We don't move on watching that. We don't know them," which is true. You don't see them.
Right.
Prior to this, you don't see them, but they are here. So right. They have made themselves seen.
They operate under the radar.
Exactly. And I don't think they're poor out here either.
So lucky, sir, if I may. One day I come from halfway tree and saw a man, you see, no one Israelite. See him with some pants, I sell on the road in halfway tree, and then him board the bus where we are go back at town, and me end up sit down side of him and I say, I wonder if him Hispanic, so I say, Mexican? And he must say, no, Palestinian. I said, Palestinian?
How long ago?
I said, this was about 2 years ago.
Okay.
You understand? I say, Palestinian? So what, you know what I mean? Why are you on the street selling jeans pants? I say, no, I have a store in downtown. I was just, you know what I mean, coming out to advertise some of my products. You know what I mean? So it seems like things was not going well at the time for him business, so he might try, you know what I mean? Going at the town.
If you have no business for true.
Well, me don't know, you know, that is what he said.
Probably a flat-foot hustling in condo.
Could be, and that would be even more surprising. You know what I mean?
Well, I can't tell you what surprised me a couple of years ago. I saw a person, a Chinese descent person. Him don't look. He's not one of the long time Chinese then. Because him look and talk with the kind a little half accent. You know, thing learn. You know, talk Chinese language. You want to talk like English, but the Chinese accent upon it, right?
Can.
And he was flat-foot hustling in the community where I was living when I was in Naples.
Okay.
We stand up and look and we start wondering if a spy. It's not normal.
Can.
And then we start. I think I was in the truth then. So we start, you know, I recall the teachings and things. I remember that, yeah, the table going to turn. So you're going to see more than other nations having stars and flat. But you know what I want to see? When them start to flat foot hustle on the street, if the police go and run them off, they could run off black people.
Right.
That would be interesting. We need to start video some of them police when they start to run off defenders. Because you know when the SHIT hit the fan and the other nations have to start hustle on the street, you know the police then have to run them.
So like, if I may as well, sir, him also said in Israel, him get treated like garbage, you know? Like he must say, when him in Israel, Israelis them treat him like garbage. But in Jamaica, he's able to come and make a living. You know what I mean? Basically, they love Jamaica. You know what I mean?
They come among us, whichever nation, and they are able to make a dignified living.
Can.
But the only drawback to that is the way that they turn around and treat us after that.
Right.
So they always seem to fillet our flesh. Right. We have any scriptures with this one?
Can we have a couple?
Oh yeah, we have a couple. Oh yes, I have some videos, another video to dissect this one too. But this brother here was in the right spirit. This brother was in the right spirit.
Can.
And why we here in the truth say he was in the right spirit, how can we as a nation who is not healed as yet take up our next man battle? We can't take up our next man battle.
Right. You understand?
As a matter of fact,
Can.
they don't need, they really and truly, they don't need us to fight their battle. You watch when United Nations, when the United Nations meet and speaking out for Palestine. How much meetings has the United Nations ever had speaking for us? We are what destroyed by slavery. Never. They don't speak for us. We have no other nation advocating for us. So, I mean, they don't need us. Man in our right spirit, run them away. From the river to the sea, you want to be free, but for we. Palestine will be free for we, not for you. Right? They went down there under the Arabs. Need to go Saladin. Saladin was a killer. Saladin probably was worse than Hamas or Hezbollah. You know that. But they don't know that history. And they don't want to know that history. But I think the Palestinians those who live down there, would be like probably the governing class who was down there in that region at the time. So, you know, the system, just like when Rome fell, what do you think happened to the white man? They end up in the cave. So when their system start to crumble now, you know, they get the messy end of the stick and end up down there in the condition that they are in now. But Jamaica don't need to take up their fight.
Right.
Jamaica don't need to advocate for Israel either, or the Israelis either. Don't need.
Right.
That's one conflict we can stay away from. Why?
So that,
because it's really and truly our land. Yeah, go on, say what you say.
And Salakia, if I may, this war between the Israelis and the Palestinians, this is the most I is doing. You understand? I most I stir up the war between them. So, you know what I mean? You can't free where the most I is trying to destroy. You understand? And like what Officer Abada once said earlier, we not free. So how we can free, how we have a try, you know what I mean, free Palestine and we ourselves not free. We have issues here in Jamaica where we you know what I mean, we need to resolve. How about freeing Tivoli, you know what I mean, from these corrupt puppets of our oppressor called the politicians. You understand? How about freeing Jungle and Rima and every garrison? See? How about freeing the poor black people here in Jamaica? Salakia.
Well, that's it. And all the freedom that we speak of, when that time comes, all them poor people, right? It's just like when we were taken from Jerusalem and taken to Babylon and we were placed by the river. What's the name of the river again?
River of Jordan.
River Jordan and another river. River Ada, something like that. One next two river. Ozan or Hazan or something like that. Right? We were placed along the banks of those rivers. And we, with our knowledge from Jerusalem, we built Babylon. We built all these nations that have taken us captive. We built them. Right? And, you know, funny enough, you should say that the Mosiah set them to kill them off because that's what it says in Revelation. If we could find that scripture, the spirit of the spirit of war. Remember, it was the pale horse or the red horse. The Mosiah unleashed that spirit on them so that they should kill one another. Oh, then I mean, don't they say that God is all love? Isn't that what they teach?
Right.
So if that's what they teach, how comes God is sending a spirit on them that they're going? You know, it's like when a cop, when the cop set up two gangs to fight and stand off, and then he turn to them and say, "Killer want to kill out of one another." We look at the police and we say, "Bro, you evil, you are wicked." But the same thing God is doing to them. God is sending the spirit of war on them so that they should kill one another. And that's exactly what is happening. Because it's what them down there fighting is the land don't belong to neither of them. You find Revelation.
Revelations chapter 6 and verse 4.
It's 6 so far? Okay.
And it says, And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
Now look at that. Is this war in Ukraine? Isn't it taking peace from Europe? This war in Gaza, isn't it taking peace from a certain section of the Middle East, and it's threatening to spread further? As a matter of fact, it has taken, we can say it is taking peace from the Middle East, because from that one war in Gaza, ships are afraid to sail around there. I mean, the Houthis sinking the ship around there like I don't know what. Hezbollah now telling the Israeli that if you start an all-out war, nowhere in Israel will be safe for you. As a matter of fact, they released a video, something like a 9-minute video, where a drone flying into Israel and videoing some sites, military and civilian sites, that they could possibly hit. Never happened before.
Right.
This is a drone, the enemy's drone, scouting out Israel. Normally, Iron Dome no supposed to can't take down there. But for some reason, the Iron Dome can't take down the drone. Because the Iron Dome take out rockets that are way up there in the sky. Drones fly much lower. Iron Dome can't pick them up. But they have other technology that can pick up the drones. And they are still knocking out those technology. So, this brother being in the right spirit, telling them, as a matter of fact, when him telling them, he was cursing them because there were so many blacks among them. But the one on the mic, that was no Palestinian, that was a Jamaican. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Let me tell you something. It's not only Palestine will be free for us. Jordan, I think Yemen is part of our land. Saudi Arabia is part of our land. It's the entire basin, all the way up to the river. And the matter of fact, it's not River Jordan, it's River Euphrates. The scripture, the Most High, from Moses' time, gave us up to the River Euphrates. All that basin belongs to the tribe. So that chant is not for us. It's not from the river to nothing. It's the entire basin. Removing Saudi Arabia, removing the Palestinian, removing Jordan, removing all those who need to be removed. Right? All right, we have a video we can touch, tell you who the Palestinians are.
Gun.
About we can take 4 minutes, I think, out of that video. We have so much time.
Yeah, man, we can do this video and read a couple scriptures.
All right, so we'll take about 4 minutes out of that video. 4 or 5 minutes?
Approximately near 5 minutes.
Okay, all right. Let's have it.
And welcome to the show. We are so glad you're with us. Today's war is centered around the oldest land dispute in
the song. I hear the audio, sir.
Jews and Palestinians claim Israel as theirs.
But pause it. We have to give a little disclaimer.
More than 3,000 years. Palestinians say they've.
I have to give a little disclaimer. This is not our video. It's out there in the public domain. We are just using it for educational purposes. Right? Okay. Continue.
We say you hear it, right?
Yeah, can.
All right.
Been there even longer than that. Is that claim supported by history, though? Here's a closer look at the facts.
In 1969, Israeli Prime Minister Golda Meir made headlines with this comment: "There is no such thing as the Palestinian people. It's not as if we came and threw them out and took their country. They didn't exist." Golda's statement was controversial, but as it turned out, many Arab leaders and historians agreed with her. In 1937, Arab leader Ani Abdul Hadi made this statement to the British Peel Commission: "There is no such country as Palestine. Palestine is a term the Zionists invented. There is no Palestine in the Bible. Palestine is alien to us." So what is the historical truth? Who are the Palestinians and what are their claims to the land of Israel? Let's take a look. Many Palestinian Arabs have claimed to be descendants of the ancient Canaanites. But history shows that there's no way the Palestinians could be related to the Canaanites, because the Canaanites were almost completely obliterated by the Israelites in the 13th century BC. The few that remained were assimilated into Israelite culture. Palestinians also claim that the ancient Philistines are their ancestors, and it's true that they take their name from the tribe of Goliath. But do they actually share DNA? The Philistines were a seafaring people who came from Crete, the largest of the Greek islands.
The Philistines got their name from the Hebrew word plishtim, which actually means invaders. Palestine means invaded land.
When the Philistines invaded Israel in the 12th century BC, they stayed close to the Mediterranean coast. By the 7th century BC, the Philistines had been assimilated by the Assyrians, then conquered by the Babylonians. And experts say no one alive today could prove Philistine lineage. So if they're not Canaanites and they're not Philistines, who are the Palestinians?
Never in history was there a Palestinian nation or a Palestinian state. They were all Arabs.
Behind me is one of the most controversial pieces of real estate in the world. The Temple Mount is the holiest site in Judaism and the third holiest in Islam. Muslim tradition says that Muhammad traveled here to the Al-Aqsa Mosque on his famous night journey. And that tradition forms the basis for the Palestinians' claim to Jerusalem. The Quran says that Muhammad's dream flight took him to Al-Aqsa.
All right, you see that mosque, all this fighting. That is what the Israeli them really want to know. That Temple Mount. Because I think that's where they should build the temple that they want to build. I think that's where it should go. So that is the white elephant in the room that they are not talking about. Right? That is what they really want. Continue.
Aqsa, which means the farthest place. Early Islamic scholars interpreted that to mean a heavenly place, or the courtyard of Allah. That all changed as Islam evolved into a political force. During the Crusades, the Muslim general Saladin changed Islamic tradition to strengthen the Muslim claim to Jerusalem. He stated that Muhammad's flight took him not to heaven, but to the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. Muslims believe that once they claim a piece of land, it belongs to Islam forever. Most historians agree. The Jews were here first.
Salakia, yeah, say something, sir?
Yeah, what they said, the Muslim claim, once they take a piece of land, they hold on to it forever. That's the problem right there.
Can.
You conquer your land, it's there forever. All right, continue. You're coming up to where we can cut it, eh?
Country.
But the Arabs will argue that they were here the longest, and the so-called right of return has been a constant theme at every Middle East peace summit since 1948. From the Crusades until the 19th century, the Arab population had only grown from around 200,000 to 300,000. With the waves of Jewish immigration starting in 1882, Arabs started flooding into Palestine from neighboring countries. By 1948, the Arab population of Palestine was 1.
Yeah, I think we can cut it there. So basically, what they are saying, the Palestinians were there because of the Arab invasions.
Right.
But the Palestinians trying to make other claims. But if we remember the scriptures, from the time when Joshua was going to take over the land, the Most High had rained down. They call it brimstone and fire, and the original Canaanites who were in the land. And we know that many of them fled. Those who survived fled, and they came all the way around to be the South Africans.
Right.
So, from the river to the sea don't belong to no Palestinian. But because they were in the land before the Egyptian, before the Amalek, who is the Israeli now, they Israeli now because they had formed Judaism from, what was it? Which year was it again? 740 AD. From about 740 AD, they formed Judaism. They think the ones now, the Zionism must be the ones who teach them that, this land is yours and things. Well, two things about this. Two things. These Arabs, you see how much of them died just now that they're doing Hajj. Over 1,000 of them, heat kill them in the land. So that show that Mecca is not for them either.
Right.
Plus, if you do research on skin cancer in that Jerusalem region, you would realize that a lot of these so-called Israelis, couple thousand of them dead from skin cancer before they start learning how to use sunblock. That again shows that they are not the original people of the land. The Palestinians kind of get climatized to the region. But the true people for this region is us, right? Or give me Jerusalem is the mother of us all. Right? We know that coming out of captivity, as a matter of fact, when we were going into captivity, we knew who we were. And our captors knew who we were. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, oh, these people, where are the Israelites? Where are they? They are lost. Come on. They are just playing blind. Playing to be blind and not knowing that that is us. You find it?
1 second.
Right? But, no other to, command in General Leon for holding down this truth until today. Because of that, we can throw it in their face and let them know. We know that we are the Israelites. So you want to go and will answer, oh, we are the God's chosen people and this is our land and blah, blah, blah. Shame shall cover thee. So that is the next one we need after this. Shame shall cover your face. All right, this one is what? Galatians. All right, drop this one.
Yes, sir. Drop this one.
Yeah, man, read it.
Oh, okay. Can. This is the book of Galatians, chapter 4, and verse 26. And it says, but Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
Jerusalem is the mother of us all. Right? It's the mother of the 12 tribes. The entire Bible is for the 12 tribes, not for the entire nations of the world. So Jerusalem is our homeland. We know that.
Right.
What's the next one I was saying we could find?
Salakia, sir. I don't remember what I said, sir.
All right. So, I mean, but we know who we are. And we know that we need to have this place before us. Give me another scripture that we hold on to.
Can. I had Exodus 23 and 32, which says, thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor with their gods.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know what I mean? And we trying to join this, you know what I mean, free Palestine thing when Palestine have nothing at all to do with us, except that they are currently on our land. You know what I mean? It's almost like we making a covenant with them. You understand? It's almost like we joining ourselves to their cause.
So, yeah, man, give them my land.
Can. You understand? So the Most High told us to not make any covenant with them. You understand? And we have a next one, Deuteronomy 23 and 6. Said, thou shalt not seek their peace nor their prosperity. You know what I mean? And this is the Most High is doing. So you can't go against the grain. The Most High put them in a war. You are seek them prosperities, you putting yourself against the Most High. You understand? So okay.
Definitely. Because the Most High send out the spirit of war so that they fight against each other. And you get in between that. What do you think going to happen to you?
Right.
You're going to crush. You're going to be caught up in that war.
Can.
Why is it holding on to?
You have this one, which it basically depends on the topic away that breakdown a while ago. You know what I mean? Them basically in our land. This is Luke 21 and 24, and it said, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. Talking about us. You know what I mean? Talking about the 12 lost tribes of Israel.
Right.
See?
Being in nations on the face of the earth.
Can. And Jerusalem.
And it says, we shall follow.
Fall by the sword.
By the sword. Meaning that what? We've been conquered through war.
Can.
So this Chinese man who talk about the these people, it's just because we are being conquered and destroyed.
Can.
Thank you.
Can. And it says, Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles. And that is what we are seeing right now. The Gentiles, they occupy our land. They are the ones treading on our land right now. You understand? Mm-hmm. Until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So we are seeing the Most High, you know what I mean, bringing forth the fulfillment of the time of the Gentiles. So this war is this fulfillment taking place. So, you know, we want to go against the war and make the war happen. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So that, yeah.
Exactly. Get out of the way and watch God work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, you can imagine somebody come beat you up, take away your things, and then you stand one side and watch him. And when you look at next man come, and beat him up. And then him and the man just kill off them one another. And then you just walk in and go back and play with things.
Right.
That's what the Most High is doing with them. You know, but them kill each other. Just like it says in Revelation. They shall kill each other. And what happened after they kill each other? Sorry. What happened? Meanwhile, they are warring. Give me Zephaniah. What is it? 2-1.
Got one gun.
As a matter of fact, hold on. So in the meantime that they are fighting and killing off each other, this is what the Most High said that we should do. You know?
Got one gun. This is the book of Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. And it says, gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation that desire.
So meanwhile, this war is going on. Let you and I gather together. You Israelite, you should be in the truth. You should come into the ISUPK.
That's
the Christian Church never tell you these things. These things that you're going to be witnessing, it will be foreign to them too. You should be here in the truth, gathering yourself together, coming in, learning who is your brother, who is the other tribes that you should, the one that you should be saying out of many, the one people, right? And that is the 12 tribe. You should be attesting that too, rather than attesting it here in Jamaica to every nation. Even the nation who, after you take him as one, don't turn around and look on you and say, boy, you fool, man. Can you imagine? Eh? But, you know, gather together. We should be doing what the scriptures say. So while they are fighting, we are gathering ourselves together. We are making amends with each other. Stop killing each other. Showing love to each other. Helping each other. Making our purchase from each other.
Right.
I promise that. Read on.
So yeah, that was it, sir.
Oh, that's it for Zephaniah. What else there?
Yeah, we don't have nothing else lined up, sir. I think that's a good note, you know what I mean, to end the show on, unless you have something else you want to bring forth.
You're not holding on to that scripture, so.
We can save some of them for class Sunday.
All right, so we can end it on that note. Gather ourselves together, not go and gathering with the Palestinian, or with the Israeli, or with the Ukrainian, or with the Russians, or with the American, but find who are the 12 tribes of Israel and gather ourselves together. You notice it says, "O nation not desire." That is why this woman could say, "We're the stupidest people on the face of earth." That even though your money uplift them, you are not desired.
Right.
You are not desired. All right? So with that, to turn it over to you.
Can. All right. So, you know what I mean? Again, another interesting show. To order to Officer Abadawan for coming through tonight. Again, this is the breakdown where we break down the strongholds that hold back the children of Israel here in Jamaica. You know what I mean? Caribbean, North, Central, and South America. See? And with that, Shalom. Yabba Shem Yabba Shai Barakatah.